I don't know why I keep watching these dreadful, dreadful movies. It's like morbid curiosity, I guess. I don't have anybody that goes with me. I just go alone. It's not like I have a girlfriend that wants to see them, or any of my friends care at all. I'm just going alone to these embarrassing Fantastic Beasts movies. I can't keep doing this. How do they keep getting away with it?
Kingdom of Bhutan. Some of our most important magic has its origins there. And they say if you listen carefully enough, the past whispers to you.
You can't keep getting away with it!
So, The Secrets of Dumbledore is the third in this Fantastic Beasts saga, Harry Potter spin-off starring Scamander, which is a really clever name for a character that loves animals. Really clever there, J.K. Rowling. It promised to have Mads Mikkelsen being a threatening villain.
Our war with the Muggles begins today!
It promised to have Newt Scamander and his hardy band of misfits doing a plotty thing to try and get the upper hand on him.
From this moment forward, each of us has been assigned a role to play.
And none of that happens. This is one of the most backwards, asinine, messy scripts I've seen in a while. At the heart of it is a story about a villain who is trying to become a politician. Mads Mikkelsen, who is formerly played by Johnny Depp, who is formerly played by Colin Farrell, 3 different actors playing the same character. He's trying to become the leader of the wizarding world to kill muggles, to kill ordinary people. I don't know why he needs to do that, considering he could just do it. But he wants to become a politician, so the whole movie he is doing virtually nothing except hiding out in a big castle in the middle of nowhere and saying vaguely threatening platitudes. He occasionally makes public appearances where he does very little. Mads Mikkelsen's a great actor, if you didn't know, and he does virtually nothing in this whole film. Meanwhile, Newt Scamander has this big group of people, and they're trying to usurp him, but it's so confusing because their plan isn't a plan. They are essentially trying to stop him in a roundabout way where none of them know what's going on. That's literally, it's essentially that Randotron from that Rick and Morty episode, the heist episode.
If our collective behavior is just random enough, we should be able to walk through Heistotron's lazily contrived bullshit like it's not even there.
Sounds good.
I don't really get it, but it sounds like that's the point.
So half of the movie is them not even addressing the problem. It's shocking to me. There's like a 10-minute, 15-minute, I don't even know how long minute sequence where Newt Scamander is trying to save his brother from this weird prison thing where there's like a big scorpion that's killing people and turning their bodies into mulch. It's just an incredibly odd sequence that has some of the most baffling tonal switches, which we can talk about, but the story just feels like it comes to a screeching halt at multiple points throughout this movie because the characters don't know what's happening, so the audience doesn't know what's happening. Hello? Did anybody think of this? Half of the movie, at least, I was sitting in utter bewilderment at why things were happening, or what was happening. There is so much going on in this, and yet it feels like nothing happened. It felt like I sat in a theater for 2 hours and watched virtually nothing happen or be accomplished even. The end of the movie is Grindelwald, Mads Mikkelsen, escaping capture. So essentially nothing happened.
Dumbledore asked that I give you something, Jacob.
Are you kidding me right now?
Who wouldn't like our chances?
He can't keep getting away with it!
There's so many thoughts I had during this movie. I wrote a bunch of them down, so I'm just gonna kind of read off of them here because my thoughts feel very mixed up, like this movie is, I suppose. So there's not gonna be a lot of cohesion to this review or whatever this is. it's just going to be me kind of rambling about things I thought about during the movie that were more interesting than actually watching the movie. And the number one thing I wrote down is the magic is gone. And I don't mean that literally. Obviously, there's tons of magic in this, and they have spells and conjuring and wow. But what I mean is figuratively. The magic here is just gone. There's no more Harry Potter wonder like there was. It's just not here anymore. And I feel like that's completely to do with the choice of story. It's so bogged down by this end of the world, fate of the universe, political drama. The fact that this is a political movie in a wizarding world feels so wrong. Obviously, there's politics in Harry Potter, but that wasn't the whole, thrust of the story. Here, it's literally the story, is the fact that there are politicians, and there's corrupt people, and we gotta stop him before he becomes ruler of all magicians. It's so stupid, but they take it so seriously. So that wonder that Harry Potter instilled in so many people, the world, this expansive world that you can really kind of fill in the blanks in your mind, is gone. They go to so many different countries in this, and it just feels like a copy-paste of the rest of the world. There's just no magic left in this. Next up is, why don't more people know about Fantastic Beasts? Why aren't more people magic zoologists, or whatever the name for Newt Salamander is? It feels like way more people would be involved in Fantastic Beasts since there are so many. Why does Newt Salamander the guy? Nobody else has any knowledge of any of these creatures. Wizards look at these creatures as if they're like, whoa, this is crazy. I didn't know this was a thing. But they're just walking around. Why don't more people know about these things? Why is Newt Salamander the guy to know about these aminals? It's crazy. This is a magic world full of magic creatures, full of magic smart people, and one guy is the guy to call about a tiny antelope thing that kneels for the Pier of Heart, which is also the thing that this magic world uses to elect a leader? What are we living in, the Dark Ages? Why is an antelope the size of a small house cat choosing who rules the magic world? Who gives a shit if it can tell if you're Pier of Heart? Why would that be the case? Why would anybody want that to be a thing? Oh, it knelt before Donald Trump, so Donald Trump's our president now. Oh, it knelt before, I don't know, Hillary Clinton, so she's the president. Nobody would want that. That's so stupid. Oh, I just spit everywhere. And that kind of brings me to my next point on the list, which is the tone is just off. The tone of this movie is completely wrong. It's, again, so serious. And yet, there are parts that are completely goofy and feel like they betray the seriousness of the script.
Our war with the Muggles begins today!
You're not swiveling properly.
I'm swiveling, I was swiveling.
I don't believe you are.
The scene when Newt Salamander is getting his brother, Theseus, I think is his name, Salamander, out of this weird prison where it's all like a spiral and people are hanging upside down for no reason, and there's these weird little scorpion type things that are gnawing at, chomping at them, and then when their little light bug thing goes out, this big scorpion thing comes out and kills them. People would only be in there for 2 minutes because that's how long the bug thing lasts. It makes no sense. But anyway, the whole scene is completely ruined by Newt Salamander having to do a little saunter, a little jig to stop the little snappy centipede. What are these things? Centipede, scorpions? He has to do this little jig to stop them from attacking him. And it's this incredibly goofy moment where they bring a lot of levity and a lot of light to the situation while people are being stabbed through the chest with a gigantic scorpion's needle and then turned into mush. And then once they're mush, the tiny little scorpions jump up on them and start eating it. Why is this a goofy scene? This script is just so backwards, man. Most of my points from here on out have to do with the script. And the next one is, it's horrifically dull, which is something I've already kind of addressed. It's so aimless that it becomes boring.
Swivel, but delicately.
I'm swiveling like you're swiveling.
There's this guy that, like, infiltrates Mads Mikkelsen's hive mind, or whatever it is, and it's supposed to be this, like, weird bait and switch where you think that he's betrayed Newt Salamander for Mads Mikkelsen, but at no point do you get that indication. There's, like, this big reveal at the end when he, like, turns on Mads Mikkelsen's group, and I was like, yeah, okay. Why would I think that he was a bad guy? There's not enough time spent with that character to make me even think for 1 second that he would have been a bad guy. And the final thing I want to say about Fantastic Beasts 3, The Secrets of Dumbledore, is it feels pointless. This whole movie feels pointless. There's really nothing that it accomplishes. They don't get the bad guy at the end. They don't really do anything. A girl gets elected at the end, and that's about it. It just feels completely lost. I mean, Harry Potter has an overarching story of good triumphing over evil, but every individual movie also has an individual story, and none of these movies do. They have an overarching plot with Grindelwald, but none of them have an individual story that's compelling enough to be a movie. So, I don't know, I'd give this a 2 or a 3. I really, really disliked it. It looks okay, the performances are okay, but boy, does this script suck. It sucks so hard. It brings everything down. It really does. It's so bad. I did like the Muggle guy in this, though, the fat comic relief, who usually is like, oh, I'm a fat guy, and I'm gonna be funny, ha 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 ha, isn't that so funny? And it's not. But in this one, he actually has some things to do, and his little thing, romance with that witch girl, is actually kind of nice. She's like, I'm a bad guy, and you have to go away. And he's like, I'm not gonna go away, I'm the funny fat guy, we should get married. And then they get married, and it's alright. So that's it, bye!